Natural and home remedies for rheumatic fever. Rheumatic fever is a rare but serious complication that can develop if a group A streptococcus throat infection is not treated. There is no cure for rheumatic fever, but treatments are available to help relieve the symptoms. Symptoms of rheumatic fever include high temperature, fever, of or above 39°C, 102°F. Blotchy red skin rash. Headache. Nosebleeds. Fatigue. Excessive sweating. Chest pain. Shortness of breath. Abdominal pain. Vomiting. Joint pain and swelling, often begins in knees and ankles. Irritability. Shortened attention span. Changes in personality, moodiness, unusual laughing, crying. Small nodules under the skin. Symptoms typically begin 1 to 5 weeks after a bout of strep throat, although in some cases the infection may have been too mild to have been recognized. Sometimes, people with rheumatic fever do not recall having had a sore throat. Rheumatic fever can also cause a temporary nervous system disorder. Today it is called chorea, or synonyms chorea. This is a nervous disorder characterized by rapid, jerky, involuntary movements of the body occurring mainly in childhood or during pregnancy and closely associated with rheumatic fever. It may appear up to 6 months after rheumatic fever has cleared. People with mild cases of chorea may find it difficult to concentrate or write. More severe cases can cause the muscles of the arms, legs or face to twitch or jerk uncontrollably. The knees, ankles, elbows and wrists are the joints most likely to become swollen from rheumatic fever. The pain often migrates from one joint to another. However, the greatest danger from the disease is the damage it can do to the heart. In more than half of all cases, rheumatic fever scars the valves of the heart, forcing this vital organ to work harder to pump blood. Over a period of months or even years, particularly if the disease strikes again, this damage to the heart can lead to a serious condition known as rheumatic heart disease, which happens in up to 1/3 of cases and can eventually cause the heart to fail. Causes of rheumatic fever. Rheumatic fever results from an inflammatory reaction to certain group A streptococcus bacteria. The body produces antibodies to fight the bacteria, but instead the antibodies attack a different target, the body's own tissues, so it is a type of autoimmune disorder. Home remedies for rheumatic fever. Some of the home remedies for fever include the use of products like fenugreek, basil leaves, linden tea, raisins, ginger, steamed vegetables, honey, fresh fruits, and light food in different forms. Fever is defined as a higher body temperature than usual. There can be various reasons for fever, which can lead to diseases like pneumonia, malaria, or any other infection. Some of the symptoms can be fluctuation in body temperature, headache, irritation, weakness, and loss of appetite. Fever can also be called a flu or cold. Normal body temperature should be anywhere between 95–98 degrees. However, when it seems to be more than that, it is termed flu or fever. There are various types of fevers like hay fever, rheumatic fever, and dengue fever, among many others. Usually, one can feel very irritated due to frequent fluctuation in body temperature. It makes one feel very restless and weak. However, with the tried and tested home remedies, fever is bound to reduce and give you a sigh of relief. One needs to carefully examine if it is actually a fever or just a rise in body temperature. Often, high-energy activities like vigorous exercise can raise the body temperature for a while and mellow down in a few hours. At times, atmospheric change can also result in the rise in body temperature. One can try any of the home remedies for curing fevers, if the temperature does not return to normal within a certain amount of hours. However, if the fever is high or does not come in control within a day through the home remedies, consulting a doctor is recommended. There can be many causes for fever and accordingly can result in dengue, malaria, chickenpox, smallpox, measles, and bacterial fever like tuberculosis or typhoid. The below-mentioned home remedies can help one get rid of fever within a few days. However, it is possible that it might not be cured if it is a symptom of some other disease. Water and juices. One should drink as much water as possible, because it helps to take care of the loss of fluids in your body and helps to lower the body temperature. Also, avoid eating solid foods or particularly heavy foods. In fact, one should consume plenty of fruit juices or any other fluids or liquids. Cold water bath. Try and have a cold water bath or shower, since this will reduce the body temperature externally, thus leaving you more relaxed. Basil leaves. One can use basil leaves as well because it reduces the heat in the body. Just boil a handful of basil leaves in the water and drink it. One can also make use of honey, just to add taste to it. Avoid using sugar in this mixture. Turmeric. One can make use of turmeric powder as well. It is easily available and very beneficial too. Just add a teaspoon of turmeric powder to a glass of milk, boil it and drink before going to bed. It also helps relieve any colds and coughs that you may have. Ginger. Ginger is very effective in curing any kind of allergy or disease. Add some honey and lemon juice to ginger paste and have it while the stomach is empty. It will be very effective and is recommended to be taken twice a day. Mint tea. Have mint tea twice a day. It will help keep the internal system cool and thus reduce body temperature. It also helps extract excess heat from the body. Rest. Be sure to rest as much as possible, since it helps remove excessive heat from the body. Keep yourself warm while sleeping. Sweating is also a good sign and it helps in lowering the temperature. If you sweat while sleeping, it means that your body is sweating out excess heat. One can eventually notice the fall in body temperature, due to sweating. Ice pack. Put an ice pack or just roll a few cubes of ice in a cloth and keep it on your forehead. It extracts heat from your body, thus leaving you cool and relaxed. Apple cider vinegar. Mix 1 to 3 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar in 1 cup of warm water. Gargle with this solution several times a day for 2 to 3 days. You can also add 1 tablespoon each of apple cider vinegar and honey to a small glass of warm water. Drink this twice daily for a few days until you feel better. Cayenne. Mix together 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne powder, 1 tablespoon of honey and 3 grated garlic cloves. Take 1/2 teaspoon of this mixture every half to 1 hour, several times a day. Avoid drinking water immediately after taking this mixture. Alternatively, add 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to a glass of hot water. Gargle with this solution several times a day. Follow this remedy for 1 to 2 days to notice a huge improvement in your condition. Garlic. Peel a fresh garlic clove, slice it in half, and suck on a piece like a candy. Occasionally, crush the garlic between your teeth to release its juice. Do this several times a day for a few days for best results. Alternatively, bring 1 cup of water to a boil. Add 1 teaspoon of grated garlic, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and a pinch of cayenne pepper to the water. Let it boil for another 2 minutes and then strain it. Drink it warm, twice daily until you get relief. Chamomile. Add 2 to 3 teaspoons of dried chamomile flowers to a cup of hot water. Allow it to steep for 5 to 10 minutes. Strain the solution and add some lemon juice and honey. Drink this tea 3 or 4 times a day for 2 to 3 days. Do not try this for children. For those younger people, you can use a cloth dipped in cold water and keep it on your forehead for a while, until the temperature lowers. Things to avoid during fever. There are a few things that should be avoided by people suffering from fever. Avoid eating heavy food. Avoid eating spicy and fried food. Avoid heavy exercises. Avoid taking antibiotics on the first day that you develop the symptoms of a fever.